administrator. When you first log in, you're going to see the dashboard. Now, the dashboard area just gives a bit of a rundown on what's happening with your site, things like page displays, your current members, different changes and things which are obviously done by administrators. And an important one to make sure you've got turned on is the locked accounts one. Now, that'll just let you know at a glance when you log in, just if anybody has attempted unsuccessfully to log into their account and eventually been locked out of the system. So you'll see a list of them here where you will be able to unlock that member and then contact them to see if they need some assistance logging in. You can customize this. They're all drag and drop. And if you click on the add widget button here, then there's various different reports that you can add to this page just to customize exactly what you want to see when you first log in. Jumping into the pages section. So this gives us a list of all of the pages that are on the website. Clicking the plus will show us the child pages that sit underneath that top level navigation, or we can expand all and we can see all of the different pages. So this being a demo site has an extensive amount of pages, but yes, that's how you can see everything that's available on here. You've got lots of different icons on here. So the home page is an obvious one, that's your home. You've got a plain page here, and you will notice next to any of the plain pages, we have the ability to clone that page, which will give you an exact copy, and that will allow you to then go ahead and edit that page. This is used often if you've got a layout that you like to use across different pages, or if you just want to create an exact copy of the page, edit the information, and then replace that over with the current page. So it just gives you something to work on while your other page is still active. So you've got your login, your membership pages. These ones down here, you'll notice, so your course, which is an optional extra, events, blog, news, and so on. All of these ones with the different icons are edited in your modules. So you'll notice in the list of modules here, we've got the online store, we've got your photos, you've got your blog and events and news and so on. So that is where you will edit the content for all of these pages, and it's just dynamically displayed on these pages. So whenever you add a new blog or a new event, it's just automatically going to display on this page. So it's only one area that you have to edit those and add them. Things like your blog, your events, your photos, your documents, your news, they're all also available on the mobile app. And again, all just being edited in the one area in those modules sections that will dynamically just update any of those, all those different platforms. So your homepage, any widgets that you use that content on, and in the mobile app as well. So you've got a couple of ways you can edit these other pages. So the homepage is generally built using widgets. Now, a widget is just a predefined way of displaying your content. We've built them, we've told them how to react on hover, how to resize for different mobile devices and screen sizes, and we've just given you a couple of different settings in there. So they're a nice, simple way for you to build a good-looking website without needing to know things like HTML and CSS and things like that. So this one here is a slideshow. And if we click on the cog here, it's just got some optional bits and pieces where you can customize how you want that to look. So these ones here are all really just personal preferences. If you want to display the text and titles on there, the Ken Burns effects is kind of a slow zoom in. And up the top here, you've got the option of which slideshow you want to show on this page. So you can create your different slideshows directly in the list of modules. You'll find the slideshow module, or clicking on slideshows here will take us straight through to that. So in here, you'll see the list of slides where you can just update them in here, upload them. This is the text and this is the title, which is what we can turn on in the settings here, so your titles and text. Below that, we've got some quick links. So quick links is a display block, which just gives us the option to add in a heading, some text, an image, what you want the button to say, and then where that needs to link through to. Now, I'll show you our live homepage, but just to have a look here at the editor first, you've got free listed in this editor. And then if we have a look at the homepage itself, You can see here's your slideshow with the title and text, and then here's your quick links sitting underneath here. So that's what we were just having a look at in the editor. You'll also notice that the background to each block is white, and in the background we've got an image with a bit of a slight blue overlay over top of it. So going back into that widget editor, you can add those different background colors and effects and things like that, all in the advanced settings, which you'll find right at the very bottom in advanced options. And in here you can see we've made each item white, which is the background behind each one. We've put right rounded corners on the images, where we want the heading to sit. We've got a full background, which means it goes all the way to the edges. The background color then sits over top of this image. So if we didn't have a background color on here, it would be a nice bright image like this. But because we want that bit of a blue effect over top of it, we've got a background color as well as the background image. You can set the text color as well if you need to. This one here is a custom object. If you've chosen an accelerator that includes an element like this, then it may just be that we will build you something like this. But you'll see that it doesn't have an editor. It's been custom built. So we keep that editor away so that it doesn't break when you try to edit it. This one is from the product catalog, and it just has the featured items. So if I click on the cog here, we can just set how many featured items we want to display, and you can have the have a heading there as well, which we've done. You can set your featured items in each product, so that when the page displays, it'll mix it up as to which items are going to display on here. This one here is also a quick link, but with the quick links, you've got the ability to have various different types. So the custom content is what we had above, where we dictated just which images, links, headings, text, and so on we wanted to display on each quick link. This one here is pulling directly from the news module, which means that we don't have to update it. We just select it from here, and it will pull that information directly from the news module. Whenever you add a new news item, it's always going to add the most recent one to the front, and the oldest one will drop off. When clicked through, it'll go directly through to the news items where your members can read through it. So you've just got a few settings here as to how many items you want to display, how many in each row, and just a description length, which is the little bit of text that shows with it. You can have a heading with it, and you've also got those same events options to sit in there as well. A display card, which I don't have displayed on this one, but we've obviously got the editor here. This is designed to have an image and text. And you'll see in the settings here that it tells us where we want the image to sit, whether it's to the left of the text, right, above or below, and the same other sort of settings as the others. So your different text types and backgrounds and things like that. The photo gallery strip here is pulling directly from the photos module. So you can upload your photos into multiple categories if you like. And you can then dictate just which categories you want to display in this photo gallery strip. If you want it to just mix it up between all of them, you can leave them unticked or tick them all. And each time the page is loaded, it will reload a different set of images for your members. So the page is always changing, always looking fresh. This one here is our latest news and events block. So again, it just pulls the information directly from the events module and the news module. And clicking on the cog here, we've just got the option if we want to display both events only or news only, and if we want it side by side, or otherwise it stacks one above the other like this one. So there are a multitude of widgets that you can use. Some are more current than others because some have been around for a little while. But at the very top of the widget page, you'll find an Add Widget button. And in here, you'll see a list of every module on your site, which will have all its own set of widgets all sitting here. So you can have a bit of a play around with all of these and see just what it is that you want to display on your page. And yeah, it's really something that you just have to have a bit of a fiddle with. We do have a great article in our help articles here called How to Build a Homepage, and that will tell you just how to combine some different settings on different widgets to make them look completely different to one another. So it's certainly worth a read. Okay, back in the pages area, we also have an editor. So clicking, I'll just go to a page here. So clicking on the edit icon next to a page, and generally this is one you'll use with the different just plain pages there, so that icon. In here, you have got the content page heading. So this here obviously displays at the top of the page. The link name is what shows in the navigation of your page. Your friendly URL. So this is up to you if you want to put something in here. A friendly URL is what shows after the /. So if we have a look at the main page here, if I go to the course, you can see it says /course. So that there is the friendly URL. So if you've got something that might be a little bit wordy, like this particular heading, then you can shorten that to make it more friendly. You can select a parent page. So if you want this page to sit beneath another one, select a parent from here and it will sit beneath that in the navigation. And this particular form here and also this section below here is what you're going to see and need to complete when you click on the Add a Standard page here. So you can create all of your own pages and you can set up all your own settings in here. So the module name is what module you need to pull the information from. Because we're just going to add our own content to this page, it's a plain page. In the page subtypes, we've got a navigation node, which doesn't contain content. It's like the membership one here where it exists in the navigation, but I can't click on it. There's no content on there. It shows in the navigation so that we can have these child pages sitting underneath it. The link page you'll see brings us a URL field, and the idea of that is that if you put a URL in there, then it will then link the user through to whatever this URL is when they click on that from the navigation. If you're going to an external website, it's a good idea to open it in a new window, so checking that box there as well. And then we've got a normal page, which has our content on it that we're going to create up here. If you select no, that you don't want to show the page in navigation, then this is going to have it so that you need to have that link supplied elsewhere somewhere to your members for that page to be found at all. So it might be that you only want to link it through directly from an email or from a quick link or button somewhere else on your page. But yes, that will not show anywhere in the navigation here for your users to find. Including the page in search. So if you have the search module turned on and if you have a search function in your header, which some of our themes will have a search field up in the top here, then yes, that will dictate whether this page is going to show in the results. Your page title is by default going to be the page link name up here. But if you want to change that, then you can do here. Now, the page title is what shows in the tab. It's also really relied on by SEO so that your site can be found. So try to use relevant and key words, and also use the page description and keywords in here. Now, you don't have to use the description and keywords on every single page, but it is a good idea to do it on your homepage and maybe your membership page, your main sort of pages. Now, you do have a site-wide SEO tools in the top right in your organization settings, and then you'll find a content management in there where you can put in site-wide SEO, which if you don't put anything in these two sections here, then it will just default to that. Keep in mind, SEO also uses the page heading and the content that's on your pages. So where you can drop keywords, it's going to help your site be found. Now, in the editor itself, we've got a lot of icons here that should look fairly familiar to you. It is a basic CK editor, and you will have seen these icons in quite a few other programs. A few that are unique to us is if you click on the images icon here, then you can upload images from your computer. Now, you've got page images, which will make this image available on this page only, and you've got global images. Now, if you think you're going to be reusing this image throughout your website, then upload it into the global images and you'll be able to see it anytime you see this images icon at all. So that's in your news and events editor, in obviously all your different pages and things like that. So anytime you see this images icon, you will be able to access these global images. Now, uploading an image into here does give us the option of editing. So we can edit different images, flipping them, cropping them, changing them to different shapes or different dimensions, or just free cropping to whatever size we like. Once you've uploaded that, it will upload into the library here, and then you've got the option of inserting it in various sizes. The other one that's a bit unique is our links icon, which gives you a link through to every page on your website. So this one here, we can add a link directly through to the membership review, and that's going to put that into our page content so that it's a clickable link for your users to make it through to that page. Documents, again, just an upload from your computer. MP3s and YouTube videos can all be embedded as well. Something that's important to keep in mind is when you want to have different headings, such as your heading 2 and your heading 3 shown here on this page, it's important to have the headings used from this drop down here. So that is your heading 1, heading 2, and right down to heading 6. Now, that's just going to use the same images, the same fonts, colors, and things like that all across your site, just keeping it looking nice and uniform and making sure that, that it keeps that consistency throughout your site. If you decide down the track that you want to change the colors, then it's a couple of changes for us on our end, and it'll change it site-wide for you. But if you go changing the styles, the font and the size and things like that, any of these others, then it is going to mean that you're going to have to manually go through and change those yourself. Other than that, you should recognize most of the other ones, things like hyperlinks in here where you can add a link through to a different page or a different website. You can have your tables and your different bold italics and so on. Again, as mentioned, if you change different fonts, styles, then it is going to be something you'll have to manually change. But yes, a lot of those other things I imagine you would already know about. Okay, so we will close out of here. A few other things worth noting in this area before we move on. If you need to have member-only pages or even pages that are locked down to certain member tags, different roles, and so on, then you can do that in this security icon here. And this icon dictates that this is a locked page. So if I click on the icon of an unlocked page here, by default, when you create a page, it is going to be public. So you'll notice it's got public in here, and this one here is the only one that will show when you've just created the page. If you need to lock this page down, you would delete this public role, and then you'd select from the drop down here any of the member tags, any of the membership types, or any of the roles that you need to be able to access this page when they're logged in. If they're not logged in with a current membership, if that's what you've locked it down to, then they will not even see the page in the navigation. While you're editing the pages, you can click on the preview, and as an admin, you will be able to see the page and how that's looking, even if it is inactive like this one here. So when you're first creating a page, or if it's now an obsolete page that you don't need to be turned on, then you can deactivate these by just clicking on it and it'll turn red, and that page is no longer accessible by any users. Delete is an obvious one, and we've already had a quick look at cloning all of the plain pages. If you need to reorder your pages in the navigation, select the reorder one here, and it is just a drag and drop function.